Chapter 18. The next thing Katie knew, she was in a hospital bed. Daylight shone through the window, so she knew it was the next day. A nurse monitoring her vitals noticed she was awake and immediately alerted a doctor, who entered the room. She looked to be around 40, with glasses and blonde hair tied in a bun. "Good morning, Miss Kowalczyk," she said. "I'm Dr. Wilson. How are you feeling this morning?" "I'm fine. Where's Joe?" "Joe? Was that your companion?" "Was? What do you mean by was?" "I'm sorry. That was a poor choice of words. I'm afraid your companion suffered more injuries than you did. He must have been behind you and protected you from the worst of the blast. He just came out of surgery. His injuries were substantial, and I'm afraid I don't know what his chances are. The surgeons did all they could. The rest is up to him." Katie relaxed a little upon hearing that. "I want to see him," she said. "I'm afraid he's in recovery right now." "Please," Katie said. The doctor thought for a moment and said, "Okay, I'll have someone bring you a chair. In the meantime, several people are here waiting to see you." She opened the door and motioned for them to come. Ashley, Bob Martin, Gabe Garcia, and Katie's parents entered the room as the doctor left. Katie's mom hugged her and said, "We came as soon as we heard. We were so worried about you." Her dad hugged her and said, "We are so happy you are okay." Next, it was Ashley's turn. "Don't ever scare me like that again," she said. Gabe spoke up, saying, "I hear you and Joe are heroes. You saved a lot of lives last night." "At what cost?" Katie asked. "You hit him with your car," Ashley said. "What's a little explosion? He's tough. He'll be fine." Bob Martin looked surprised. "Is that how you two met? Is that why you were late on Monday?" Katie sheepishly nodded. "I guess he is tough," Bob said. "Mr. Martin?" "Bob," Katie said. "Find out where they put my coat. Inside the pocket is evidence that will put Mrs. McKay away. Please give a copy to Lieutenant Garcia. Also, I have enjoyed working with you and appreciate the opportunities you have given me, but please consider this my resignation." "We will miss you at the station," Bob said, "but I understand." "Gabe," she continued, "I don't know if your captain is a co-conspirator or an innocent dupe, but either way, I think they will be looking for a new captain, and I hope you get the job." "If I do get the job," Gabe said, "I hope you and Joe would consider applying for the police academy. I could use good detectives like you." "I appreciate the compliment, but I have something else in mind." The door opened, and a nurse came in with a wheelchair. "Are you ready?" she asked. Katie nodded, got out of bed, and sat in the chair. "Thank you all for coming," she said. "I have to go see Joe now." The nurse pushed her into a room where Joe lay on a bed. Several wires were attached to his chest, a tube came out of his nose, and an IV hung nearby. The nurse wheeled Katie close to Joe and said, "I will give you a few minutes." Katie held Joe's hand and said, "What the hell is wrong with you, Joe? I should be there, and you should be here." Joe opened his eyes and said, "I'm trying to rest. Rest is a time for healing." Katie almost leaped out of her chair. She put her arms around Joe and said, "I was so scared. I thought you were dead. I remember a promise you made me." "I remember too," Katie said. "I quit my job today. My job is not important. It never was. I realized that when I thought I lost you, I also realized I was a hypocrite. I put my job first and you second. I won't do that again. My only request is that you get a bathroom put in that cabin of yours. I was thinking we need a bigger place. There is a house for sale down the road from the cabin. Perhaps we can look at it together in a couple of days when I'm better." "I would love that, Joe, but you should slow things down. You don't want some hotshot reporter wondering how you got better so quickly." The door opened, and Katie turned to see the nurse that brought her there. She had an old woman with her. She was around 80 with a thin frame and short, curly white hair. "You must be Katie," she said. "I heard a lot about you. I'm Susan. How's my dad?" "I'll be fine, Susan," Joe said. Katie moved aside so they could see each other. "Oh, you're awake," Susan said. She moved in close and hugged him. "Michael and Eric are with me, but they had to wait outside." She stood up, turned to Katie, and said, "Since Mom died, he's been a bit of a hermit. I'm glad he found someone who could get him out of his shell." "I'm not a hermit, Susan." 2 years later, Katie and Joe were at the reception desk of the Three Eagles ski resort when Michael came out of his office, followed by his accountant. He said, We just finished our taxes, and profit is up over 20% from the year before. I think we can thank Katie for most of that, Joe said. I agree, Michael said. I don't know what you are doing on the marketing end, Katie, but it's working. The door opened and Katie's parents walked in. Katie walked around to greet them. They hugged, and Katie said, I'm so glad you could make it. Are you kidding? Her mom said. We wouldn't miss our grandson's first birthday for the world. She looked Katie up and down and added, Married life must be good for you. You look younger every time I see you. Katie glanced at Joe, who winked at her. Where is little Joey, anyway? He is in the banquet room with my grandmother, Joe said. They all went to the banquet room and found Susan sitting on a chair while little Joey admired the bow on one of his many gifts. Susan stood and said, Hello again. I haven't seen you two since the wedding. Let me see if I can remember. Mary and Conrad, right? My name is Carl, but that was close, Katie's father said. They shook hands, and Mary said, It is nice to see you again, Susan. You look wonderful. She then turned to look at Joey. Oh, look at him. He is adorable. Little Joey wore brown pants, tennis shoes, and a black shirt with Daddy is older than Mommy printed on it. Joe asked, Where did that shirt come from? He wasn't wearing that earlier. I might have bought it for him, Katie said. He fell and hurt his hand, Susan said. I cleaned the wound and put a bandage on it, but he got blood on his shirt, so I changed it to one in his bag. Katie knelt to look at Joey's hand. She pulled off the bandage and looked at the wound. Look at this, Joe, she said. Joe knelt next to her and looked at Joey's hand. The cut was barely visible, like it had happened days ago. Joe looked at Katie and said quietly, It appears I am no longer the last healer. The Last Healer. I hope you enjoyed the book. I'd like to know what you thought. Please leave a comment below or leave a review on Goodreads or wherever this book is sold. If you'd like more content like this, tap subscribe and then hit the bell. That way, you'll get notified instantly when I post. To learn more about this series and other books by Charles Huss, please visit charleshuss.com.